Hello everyone. Welcome to the KonnectzIT platform. So the Connect that we are going to work on today will involve three applications, which is called Live Webinar, Google Calendars, and Gmail here. So what exactly is the use case is we are going to schedule a webinar here, and every registrant which is actually applying for the webinar, we are going to send them a link via the Google Calendars and also remind them by sending a mail through Gmail. So we are going to see everything step by step. So to start the tutorial, first of all, we have to start with the authorization of applications. The live webinar, Google Calendars, and Gmail, all the three of them needs OAuth-based configuration. So we have to give a few permissions to them and the authorization will be finished. So we'll start with live webinar first of all, and I'm going to add an account. So here I have to just click on authorize. And the authorization of live webinar is done now. Next, we are going to authorize Google Calendars here. That will also need an OAuth-based configuration. I'm just going to add an account here. I have to choose the appropriate account and give the permissions. So we have also finished the authorization of Google Calendars. Next, we are going to move is the Gmail, which is a third application in our Connect. Here also, we are just going to add an account. We are going to click here on continue. So now we have successfully finished the authorization of live webinar, Google Calendar, and Gmail here. Now it's a perfect time to click on Create Connect, which will directly take us to the visual flow builder of KonnectzIT. So now the first thing that we are going to do is drag and drop live webinar here application. Since it's a webhook application, we have to place the URL at its desired spot. Before that, we will just choose the event here, which will be new registrant. Copy this particular URL, and we are going to follow the instructions which are clubbed up with the application. So for that, I'll just go to the live webinar platform. And here we have to direct to the integration section, then to the webhooks here. And this is where we need to click and add a new webhook. Chosen the event there as a new registrant, we are going to use the same, paste the URL, and we are just going to save it. So yes, we have successfully saved the webhook. The next thing that we are going to do is I will just show you how to create a particular form. I have already created one here. So you can create your own form by clicking here. And this is how exactly it looks. So you have to name your form and give the required placeholders or the fields that you want. And you can just click on save and update here. So we are done with the webhook. We are also done with the registration form. Now the thing that we have to do is just schedule the webinar that we have. So I'm going to schedule here. Now we have to name the webinar first. So I'll just keep it as orientation. The start date, I will possibly keep it as 15th Feb. And the time, we'll possibly keep the same time here. And the duration. So now something that is very important that we have to do is go to the form and link the form that we had just created for the registrant to apply. So this is the form that we had just created. We are going to toggle for this and just click on schedule here. So yes, as you can see, we have scheduled the webinar. Now we have to click here at the copy. We have to copy the URL. So we have to capture the response now. So to capture the response, I will just fill the form which we have got now. So this is the form that which we have to fill now. So I will just fill it with some details. And finally, we have the phone number here. So I'm going to click here on register, and we have successfully registered for the webinar. Now we will just go and check the live webinar. Yes, we have got the data here. So we have got the data here in form data, and we will get the initial attributes here. Like you can see, I've got the name here. In the data too, I will be getting the full name, email ID, and the phone number also. So the next thing that we are going to do here is drag and drop the Google Calendar. So this is the Google Calendar that we have. I'll just choose the account and the trigger possible. I'll keep it as we have various. I'll choose as add attendee to the event. So before that, we have to go and create the particular event here. So I'll just create on the same time that we had scheduled here the webinar. I'll just name it and save. So we have successfully created the event here. Now we have to choose the calendar. So this is the calendar that I'm working on right now and the event. So this is the event that I just created with the name orientation program. Now we have to add the attendees email. For that, we will have to see the form data that I'll be getting it here. So this is the attendees email here. Now I'll be testing and reviewing the Google Calendar. And as you can see, the data has been successfully sent here. We will be going here at the attributes and we'll be clicking up on the summary. And this is the Google Meet link that we have to send to the individual invitees. We are also going to look at the start and the ending time of the event. So I'll also be clicking on these. And finally, the end time here. So now we have got all the attributes here. So the next thing that we are going to do here is drag and drop the text formatter for it to merge the data for me to send an email. Text formatter is basically an add-on application which is there inside KonnectzIT. So here I'll be choosing the event as merge the text and I'm going to map the fields here. So the first of all, I have to map the Google link, the summary, the timings of the event, and finally, I'm also going to look up at the name of the person, which I'll be possibly finding it over here. So now since we are done this, so before validating, we are going to merge the text here by mapping all the attributes. So we will do that first here. We will just type the message. The summary. In here is the link where you can join at the rate with a link. And also the event is scheduled from with the start date and the ending time. Now we are just going to validate the text formatter. So yes, we have validated the text formatter. The last application that we are going to drag and drop here is Gmail, wherein we'll be sending an email to the person to remind about the webinar. So here I'll be choosing the particular account and the trigger that is going to be send email. The content type, since I am not using HTML, so I'll keep it as a plain text here. And now I just have to map the fields. So I'll map the body first. So now we'll also be giving the subject here as orientation program. And finally, we just have to map the required email ID that we have here. Now we are just going to click on test and review. Yes, so since the data has been sent to Gmail, now we are just going to publish our Connect. So we have successfully published our Connect now. So we will just go and check at the Google calendars and the email as well. So this was the program that we had just added. So yes, as you can see, the email ID has been added here with, if I check here at the sent mail, the mail has also been sent here. Now we are just going to test it again by filling the form. So for that, I will just copy the URL once again and paste it over here. We are going to fill the form once again. So I'll keep it as, and the phone number finally. We will now click here on register, and we have registered for the webinar. We will just go and check the calendar here once. So we will just check it by clicking here. So yes, as you can see, it has been added here in the Google calendars. And yes, at the sent mail also we have got with the link that we had sent and with the event timings. So that's how exactly we can use the Google calendars, Gmail and live webinar to schedule the webinar and the event also. So I hope you like the tutorial. Thank you so much.